Yo guys, I'm back. Finally, I'm back. So what? I don't know, but I will discover that. You'll find out what now. So I will discover. Yo guys, I'm back. Finally, I'm back. So what? I don't know, but I will discover that. You'll find out what now. So I will discover. Uh, just let me close it. That see something. I think that my voice is clear. Holy transformation, man. Hey, that's a good video. Because why? Okay, it's I don't know if it's annoying. I keep seeing the same channel here. But it's a good channel. It's the better video to my English learning journey because he's speaking English and talks about good subjects at my view.
What's up, grinders? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be reacting to a video from this tiny YouTuber with 211 subscribers. YouTube recommended this video right here, and the only reason I want to react to it is because I see a dreaming Spanish that looks like their calendar right there. So I'm like, you can get fluent fast, and yet I'm seeing a dreaming Spanish calendar. That has caught my...
But you won't like how. So I don't think it's fast because I've watched the previous video of Evil Dia uh earlier this day, and it's just what videos for a long time until reach 1,000 hours and then start to speak. It's not fast. Let me see the reaction of Evil Dia here.
my attention. Let's go. Oh, by the way, sub to the goddamn channel. Yes, I went all aggressive.
You have my sub already, man.
Right then, I've noticed I did a video once before. Okay, guys, I always ask for subs at the end of the channel, and I get a nice amount of subs after each video. And then one video I randomly mentioned it within like the first 10 minutes, and then suddenly I just got all these subs. So I'm just going to yell at you guys in the future.
A lot of people want to get fluent in a language fast, and it
Okay.
Fast, I start this fucking sound that everybody knows.
Dude, he's stepped up the notch. Look, he's wearing a suit. We got the zoom in and everything happened within about 5 seconds. Future YouTuber right here.
is possible. It just depends on what you mean by fluent and what you mean.
Sorry, that's not a. English idiom, English expression. Maybe that's better. Yeah, I don't like those sounds in that video because it sounds unnatural. I don't know. Explain that.
By fast.
Okay, that's fine. What is fluent? I've run polls about this on my channel, and these polls have been responded to by like tens of thousands of people. Most people consider fluent to be at least a B2 level, okay? And then fast, for me, learning a language fast is like a year, 2 years. Like if we're
Near 2 years. Yeah, I've been learning English for maybe 1 year. It's not 1 year, right? It's just 10 months. I don't know. Maybe it's really 1 year because I lost my sense of time. Maybe it's really 1 year. I'm a loser because I'm not fluent yet. I think that after this challenge right now, I'll be able to do something. So okay, I'm not bad at it right now.
Being realistic.
What's going on, guys? My name's Nick, soy el fundador de Langualytics.
I'm afraid that my mic doesn't hear my voice.
Y hablo español con fluidez. So let's
He also speaks with sexiness.
start by defining what we mean by fluency. Because if what we mean by fluency is knowing some vocab words, knowing some grammar rules, and the
Fucking music, bruh. Why we got music? I hate music.
ability to translate back and forth between two languages,
Yeah, I hate this
that
music
kind of
too.
fluency is pretty easy to obtain.
It's a lo-fi, but it's too loud to the video.
It's pretty trivial. But to a lot of people, this is what they mean when they say fluency. I know dozens of people who have told me in my life that they speak 2, 3, 4, 5 languages because they know some vocab words and they can explain some grammar rules.
No, I love the one where someone's like, yeah, I know 7 languages, and you're like, for real? And they're like, yeah, look at my Duolingo. I got like all these points of this.
I call this
Holy. I've never met a person like that. Maybe in Brazil it's difficult to see someone like this.
show fluency, and I think most people can probably get there in probably a month if you really study. But if that's not what you mean by fluency, if you want to get a job in another country, if you want to talk to your girlfriend or boyfriend and they don't speak your language, or their family doesn't speak your language and you want
I can't help it. I got a bit of a scatterbrain. Okay, before he sat down, he chose to put on that suit. Do you think he walked up to the cub and he's got like a bunch of suits hanging up and he's like, this is today's video suit. Like, bro is so formally dressed.
to talk to your in-laws, then that type of fluency, the for-show fluency, really won't work for you. Because real fluency isn't just the ability to translate between two languages in your head. It's the ability to hear a sentence in another language and immediately recognize the meaning without a second of conscious thought, without a second of...
No, I don't like this meaning of fluence. To me, fluence is just the way to speak. Like you don't have delay in your voice to speak. But someone who doesn't know how to read or how to write can be fluent. So what's the matter here? Fluency, it's not related to the reading skill, but maybe it's correlated. But not direct. How to say that?
Direct. Direct.
Direct. Fuck it, I just forgot what I would say.
processing in your head. And if that's the kind of fluency you want, the kind of fluency that allows you to understand and speak your target language just like you do your native language, there's only...
Okay, well then, if it's like your native language, you're looking at C1+. Like, it'll never be like your native language.
Yeah, that's a hard truth.
Unless you stop speaking your native language for like a decade and slowly let it degrade, and then you get really good at another language, you move to that country or whatnot, and you just live in that language, and then eventually there'll be certain aspects of that language where you attain a level of fluency that you may have never attained in your native language. It's interesting. Like, my mum is technically native German, okay? She can barely speak any German anymore.
Really one way to get there. You have to take in massive amounts of input in the language you're trying to learn at a level you understand. Hundreds and hundreds of hours of exposing yourself to comprehensible input. So now that we've defined
I would have went hundreds and thousands of hours. This is just me being like a little bit picky here, because hundreds and hundreds, someone will be thinking, maybe 400 hours, I should be good then. Not really.
fluency, I assume the
Not really.
reason you're still here is because, yes, that is the kind of fluency you're looking for. Real, actual fluency. Now let's answer, can you get that kind of fluency fast? The answer is still yes, but now it depends on what you mean by fast. Personally,
Are we redefining the meaning of fast?
I feel like I got fluent very, very fast, even though I wasn't fully comfortable with Spanish until about 8 months. But going from understanding basically nothing to being able to understand patient native speakers really does feel like a huge jump. And
Is this a patient native speakers according to the Dreaming Spanish roadmap? Because I think, I'll show you what I mean. Level 4, okay, level 4 is you can understand a person speaking to you patiently. Okay. Yeah, if they're creating CI content and it's for dreaming.
Okay, but I'm right now in English. I'm the same. I can understand pretty much a patient person. You know, it's pretty vague.
Spanish, and that's 300 hours of input. Okay, yeah, that's okay, I guess. But like, I'm at, what is it? 860 hours, and you know, Gustavo, who appears in the Dreaming Spanish series, he just starts speaking in his Argentinian. He's like, and I'm like, the fuck language is that? Like, it's just, it really depends what you mean.
is a huge jump. And when I say I got fluent fast, I don't mean I found some super secret optimized system that let me leapfrog over hundreds and hundreds of hours of immersion. I mean that I did hundreds and hundreds of hours of immersion very, very quickly. For about the first 3 months, I was listening to 3 to 4 hours of comprehensible input every day, as well as trying to communicate with my girlfriend, who again spoke no English. The key to understanding here is that there's a biological reality to how
Okay, so he's done 3 to 4 hours per day, every day, and then speaks with his girlfriend who knows no English. Okay, so there's a lot of interaction going on here. Okay, 3 to four. Okay.
Yeah, I'm back.
I was going to calculate this, but we'll just let him continue.
I was speaking with my dad. My dad. That is weird today. It's pretty weird.
can learn languages. To reach the level where your brain understands and produces a second language.
So, I came up with an idea. My mouth isn't talk, isn't speaking. So, I came up with this. At the final of the video, at the end of the video, actually, I will try to do a summary of what I understood. That's it. So I will speak more. That's my idea. That's my idea.
Language automatically, without thinking about grammar, without thinking about
I'm already too sleepy. That's a word here. I'm sleepy. Let me see. I don't want to do that. This actually with what is constant? No, it's not the word. In English, it's not a word. Like every day. I don't want to do this every time. I think that's a good translation. Okay, I forgot the word that I want to translate. Damn
vocab
it.
basically requires us to create a completely new partition in our brain responsible for directly mapping sounds from your target language to meaning in your head. You're rewiring your brain, you're building a whole new pattern recognition system, and of course, that type of rewiring is going to take real time. It's not
He wiring. He's basically saying that my brain is organizing the wires.
not something you can skip with some clever trick or some secret method. At the
Wires.
end of the day, you simply need to build that pattern recognition system. And this isn't just
So far I'm vibing with all of this.
Yeah. I'm not an expert, but I think the same.
Although we haven't really got many details about his own journey. I don't like when YouTubers talk in generalities like this, where it's just kind of like, you know,
Yeah, but I do like because I'm a learner, so when someone talk generators, like it, I don't care how to pronounce it. It's pretty easy to understand everything, so I'm okay with that.
you just got to do this and that. I actually prefer almost story based about how they did it, what specifically they did, because I feel like we can learn a lot more from someone's actual, not like, okay, this is what a lot of YouTubers do. They do a whole heap of stuff, then they make a video and they make it very high level. No, go into the details. Like that 3 to 4 hours a day. Okay, that is detail. I can work with that. I can vibe with that, you know? And
Okay, I agree with you, your idea. So just give me 1 second. I want to see if someone sent to me a message. It's an important person to see. Probably yes. Yeah, it's person sent to me on this. I'm answered to them. So I'll try to speak to do not let the live without sound. Understand. It's because my cell phone. Okay, so it's okay. My message doesn't arrive it, but it's okay. She outside. See, damage.
then
My mouse
you also got a
is with
girlfriend. Okay,
double
so
click.
what kind of practice did you guys do? Was it like just you randomly throwing out some things, or was it like, did you sit down and practice certain structures with her? Did she like error correct you? Like that's what I
Yeah, a method. I don't have a method. I'm just trying to speak with correct grammar. Hey, I'm not speaking with correct grammar, but I'm trying hard. I'm trying so hard to do this. So what's the idea here? I think that if I force myself to speak in English every day for more than 2 hours, I will speak English. Like how a baby can improve their speaking skill. Speaking. The baby speaks every day. So I will speak every day.
want. That's what I love.
Just a nice to have. This is the only way you'll be able to understand authentic native speech spoken in real time. I used to think that people who were fluent were just really fast translators, but that's not the case. That's a myth. People who are fluent have cut out their native language entirely. No man in the middle. When you see people online claiming
Holy, got my native language. I tried this before for a long time, like months. It's really helped me, but my concerning here is that this doesn't help my speaking skill, just my comprehension. I think yes, my comprehension now has decayed a lot, and I want to improve it at the point that I had. Because if my comprehension go to the point that I had, my speaking skill will improve. Mm. But it's controversial, like what I said before. Right? It's because I wasn't speaking at all. I was just watching things. And now I'm watching things and speaking about them. So I think it will help. Like I need to read more. Like I'm not reading English for a long time. And like months ago, I read Steel Ball Run for 5 hours a day every day until I finish it. And I finish it. So I read and I've got and I understood a lot of words.
that you can get fluent in a language in
Here's the thing though, like when you get fluent in a language, like for example, I'm fluent in Esperanto, okay. I can translate if I want, or I cannot. But I think what he's trying to state here is that you don't think in your native language about your target language. You just think in the target language, which is true.
1 month by buying their course. It's the same genre.
That's what I'm trying to do right now. I'm just trying to speak in English without thinking in Portuguese. Speaking in Portuguese is just a delay bit here. But I have another problem. I have a memory problem. I really can't remember some words, even in Portuguese, and I don't know why. Maybe I'm just sick. That's it. Nothing more. But who knows?
Genre of video as when you see in the fitness community people posting about, you know, a 5-minute ab routine every day that's going to get you a six-pack in a month. Those videos are meant for people who want the result but aren't willing to put in the effort. Can you get a six-pack fast? Yes. In the same way you can get fluent fast. By having realistic expectations and actually putting in the required work every day. There's a biological reality to fat loss in the same way there's a biological reality to language learning. Your body can only lose so much fat sustainably every day. Your max might be 1 pound a week or 2 pounds a week, but if you can maintain a
This actually leads into a question, okay, around CI and comprehensible input. Is there a limit each day where your brain, I'm assuming there is some type of limit where your brain, it will watch a ton of content, it will pick up words and context, but there's only so much it's going to pick up. Like, is 4 hours of daily content going to get you the same type of results as 8 hours of daily content? Like, I know there's probably no answer to this question, but those types of questions, just the questions themselves, are what interest me. And I've seen this in my own videos where people will be like, hey, Evil Deer, so you're doing like 3 hours a day of Spanish, okay? Is that too much? Like, you might be doing too much. You might be actually just wasting time and you should be drawing it out over a longer period. And like, I know people in the automatic link.
No, I don't think it's too much because to learn a language you need to be immersed in the language. At least that's what the people say to me all the time.
Language growth community that most of them will say the more hours per day the better, because it's the more you're flooding your brain, okay?
The more the better.
I don't know if there's any like science around it, like anything that says yes, that's true, the more you do per day,
I've
the
never
better.
thought about it. Like if someone train a lot in the gym, you not get your evolution. Because you're overdoing it. But when it comes to language, you do it every day, 24 hours. I don't know if there's something like this. But my guess is that probably not. The brain, man. It's the fucking brain. It's the most complex thing in the world. The brain. It's our brain.
Better it is. My assumption is that you're going to
Brains.
it will be better, but it's
our
not
brain.
necessarily you're going to acquire more. It's probably you're going to lock in more of what you already have kind of acquired. Like you understand the question I'm getting at here. Like, is there a known limit in some way? I don't think.
No limit. Is there no limit? I think it's not. I will search it in Gemini because I'm curious too. There's a limit to learn. Is there a limit to amount of knowledge that I can learn? Is there a limit to amount of knowledge? The question of whether there is a limit to human knowledge is a fascinating intersection of neuroscience, philosophy, and information theory. To break it down, we have to look at the hardware, your brain versus the software, the information itself. The biological storage limit. Where your brain is the hard drive. Scientists have tried to estimate its capacity in digital terms. Its synaptic capacity. Your brain contains hopefully 86 billion neurons creating trillions of connection synapses, I don't know. Research suggests that the brain storage capacity is petabyte range. To put that in perspective, 1 petabyte is enough to store about 13 years of AD video. Efficiency factor. Like a computer, the brain doesn't fill up non-stop. It's neuroplastic. It constantly burns out or irrelevant information to make room for new connections. You aren't like to run out of space in a single lifetime, but you are limited by how much you can encode and at once. Time constraint. Most real limit isn't storage, it's time. You will spend every waking second of an 8-year life learning. You would still only spread the surface of total human knowledge. As the information explosion continues, the amount of data generated globally doubles every few years. You have moved from an era where innocent man could know almost everything about science and art to an era where you can spend a lifetime becoming an expert in just one subfield of biology. The Liber of Babel problem. From a philosophical standpoint, knowledge might be infinite, but useful knowledge is bounded by cognitive load. There's a limit to how much complex information you can process before your performance drops, mental fatigue, the half-life effects, and many fields like technology or medicine like to have a half-life. By the time you learn the limit of a subject, the foundation of that subject may have already changed. The products of knowledge. The more you learn, the more the perimeter of the ignorance grows. This is often called the Dunning-Kruger effect in reverse. Okay, I already know all of this Dunning-Kruger effect. So, my real question is there a limit to learn per day, a day? A limit to learn a day? When it comes to daily learning, you aren't limited by disk space, but by cognitive load and metabolic energy. Your brain is an expensive organ to run. It consumes about 20% of your body's energy, and intensive learning increases that demand. Here's how those daily limits actually work. The golden hours, focus limit. Most research suggests that humans have a limit of 4 to 5 hours of deep work or intense deliberate practice per day. The wall after this window, the brain's ability to synthesize new information drops significantly. You might still be reading and watching, but the encoding process turning that info into memory becomes highly inefficient. Decision fatigue. Every new concept you grapple with requires a micro decision on how to categorize it. Eventually, your prefrontal cortex tires out, leading to diminishing returns. Diminishing returns. I don't know what's this mean. Okay, I think I understand. Your working memory is like the RAM in a computer. It can only hold about 4 to 7 chunks of new information at once. If you're trying to cram 50 new vocabulary words or 10 complex logic proofs in one sitting without breaks, the RAM overflows, and the really info is pushed out before it can be moved to long-term storage. The save button. You don't actually learn while you are awake. Gather that you gather data. The actual learning, the physical strengthening of synapses happens during REM and slow wave sleep. The daily cap. There's a limit to how much synaptic tagging can happen in one day. If you overload your day with 15 hours of study, your sleep cycle won't be long enough to process and save all of it. Anything that isn't processed is actively deleted. The interference effect. Learning two men similar things in one day can cause proactive interference. Example, if you're trying to learn 3 different programming languages or 2 similar programming languages in the same afternoon, the concepts will likely bleed into each other, slowing down your total progress. How to maximize the daily limit. If you want to push your data capacity without reading the law, use the system optimization, spaced repetition. Instead of 10 hours in one day, do 1 hour over 10 days. This exploits the way the brain builds physical structures. The Pomodoro technique, giving your hand a 5 minute flush every 25 minutes, prevents total cognitive burnout. Strategic variety. Switch between a heavy mental task like logic or math and a lighter or more physical task like a language or mental skill. These different neural pathways. Are you trying to optimize a specific study schedule right now, or are you feeling burned out from a current session? Like I'm back. Like I'm back to my English practice. I'm reading and speaking right now. No. And I had to do it. That he read. There's a limit. You are back into the flow of English, especially focus on active skills like reading and speaking. You've probably noticed that speaking fatigue is it's different than reading fatigue. For language acquisition, the daily limit usually manifests in three specific ways. Foreign language effect. Processing a second language is metabolic taxing. When you speak or read in English, your brain is working overtime to suppress your native Portuguese while simultaneously searching for vocabulary and manage grammar. And really, that's it. Right now, I'm pretty tired just to read, just because I'm reading, and my ability to speak what I want in English has really decreased a lot in those minutes that I'm reading this. Holy, that's good, my friends. Uh, Time has passed a little bit. Processing a second language. Okay. Most people reach a wall after 60 to 90 minutes of intense interaction. You might find that your pronunciation starts to slip or you suddenly can't remember basic words in 20 minutes ago. It's a sign that your prefrontal cortex needs a break. Yeah, I'm feeling this after just 30 minutes. To be honest, I'm sleepy. Like, yeah, that's the word. I'm sleepy. He's sleepy. Sleepy. Yeah, I love this word. I'm sleepy. Holy. Yeah, I think it's not important. I wish it's not important. Okay, yeah, I will private this live stream anyway. So whatever. The limits. It's been okay. Output versus input. Reading input. You can generally sustain this longer. Uh, you're reading a book or a manga in English, you can often go for 2 or 3 hours because you're absorbing patterns. Speaking output, this is much more exhausting because speaking requires real-time retrieval and physical coordination. You might find your daily limit for high-quality speaking practice much shorter, perhaps only 30 to 45 minutes of focused conversation before your brain starts to revert to simpler sentence structures. Yeah, I'm feeling it right now. My brain is reverting itself to a form, uh, pure form. That's not my real English. I can speak a lot more better than this. But okay, focus the conversation before your brain starts to refer to symbols. Okay. Shadowing limit. The reason techniques like shadowing, getting after the native speaker, the limit is often physical and here basic. The ability to distinguish subtle sounds, phonemes, degrades is tired. Once you stop hearing the nuances, continue to practice can actually first bad habits. I'll tell you if you've hit the daily limit. Translation look. Just translating every word back to the instead of just understanding it. Physical tension. Your jaw or tongue feels heavy. Not articulate perfect. Reading progression. You find yourself reading the same paragraph 3 times without registering meaning. Better strategy. Instead of trying to find the absolute maximum, try micro framing. Instead of 1 3 hour session, 30-minute sessions throughout the day. Morning reading while your brain is fresh. No speaking, shadowing to up to social brain. Casual. listening, or always for content. Prime your brain for sleep preparation. Yeah, this make a lot of immersive there. But when it comes to afternoon, I want to play games and talk to people. Like I have people that I need to speak. So read. I don't know. I use this year we recently picked the practice back up. Are you not seeing that you get tired of fast speaking parts compared to parts? Hmm. Yeah, maybe. Because I'm in a level that I still need to think. So sometimes I have a delay and sometimes not. Just because the idea is that because that delay is the perfect indicator of your brain is at. When you have to pause and think, you're using explicit process. You're manually digging through your mental files for grammar holes and vocabulary. When the idea just comes up, you say it instantly. That's an implicit process, which is the goal of fluence. The reason you feel that fatigue is because the manual thinking consumes a massive amount of cognitive energy. Here's why that happens and how it relates to your daily limits. The bottleneck of translation. When you have a delay, your brain is usually performing a three-step dance, forming the total out thought, forming the thought in your head, find the English labels for that thought, arranging them into a structure. This process is like running a heavy programming PC with limited RAM. Eventually, the system gets hot, and that's when the delays get longer. You start to make silly mistakes and things you actually know. The flow moments, when the idea just come up with delay, you have accessed a chunk. Brains beating the sentence word by word, just grabbing a pre-made Lego piece of a language. Limit tip. The more you hit your daily limit, the less your brain can access its flowcharts, and the more it has to rely on this low manual translation as outputs through the delay phase. If you are at this specific level, you can actually maximize your learning by focusing on collocations, words that naturally go together rather than individual words. Instead of learning thinking about, learn the chunk and less thinking about. When you learn the chunk, the delay disappears before you brain because your brain only has to retrieve one item instead of three. A quick efficient check. If you start feeling that delay getting longer and longer during a session, just to pace of an input. Stop speaking, just listen to a podcast or watch a video for 15 minutes. The lowest takes down. Try narrating what you do in very simple English. Open the fridge and look water. This keeps the speaking engine warm without the high cost of complex thinking. Does the delay happen more when you're trying to explain a complex idea like philosophy or technical stuff? Yeah, I think it would be like this. Yeah, but when it comes to speak, it's about it's pretty low. Oh, I can feel the vocabulary the vocabulary. Listen, feel like this. Yeah, this is exactly what cognitive depletion feels like. It's a very strange sensation. It's like watching a battery bar dropping in real time into your life. The most basic words, even though you know you have a much larger vocabulary. When you feel vocabulary shrinking, yeah, that's the word. I knew it. I knew it, man. I knew it. A few things are happening under the hood. Search engine slow down. Your brain has a passive vocabulary. Words you understand when reading, and active vocabulary. Words you can put out while you're speaking. The fatigue effect. Proving active words occurs a high voltage signal. When you get tired, your brain saves energy by closing paths to those specific nuanced words and forcing you to use broad words like saying good instead of excellent, thing instead of component. The stress has response. If you get frustrated because you can't find a word, your brain releases small amount of cortisol that actually shuts down the parts of your brain responsible for word retrieval. The more you try to force the high level words to come back, the more they hide. How to handle shrinking vocabulary. Accept the level down. When you feel the limit approaching, don't fight it. Treat the easy mode use the simplest words possible to finish the conversation to prevent the frustration that leads to total burnout. The placeholder is strategy. If a specific word disappears, then freeze use a placeholder as description. Instead of mispronouncing, searching for fatigue, I'm feeling that tired feeling the brain. This kid influence going even if the vocabulary is lower. And on a lane. You feel your vocabulary reducing, try to stop about 5-10 minutes after you listen. If you want to end your practice session while you are still communicating rather than stopping because you completely your brain like X fast and lighting weight, but when you try to speak a second language, it's like to run a heavy automated and background process, eventually the system happen and play because your end is full. Since you're practicing lately, how long can you usually go before you feel that shrink happen? Is it after 15 minutes or can you push it to an hour? No, I need to push it to 25 minutes. I don't know. Right now, I don't know. But I need push it to more 25 minutes. Complete hours practice. No, I don't know, but I need to push it to. It's a very specific discipline target. Pushing through that final 25 minutes. You got 5 hours as a 30-minute challenge. Was like a long distance run when you're like heavy. Since your system has like fluent vocabularies already start to shrink, is how you can optimize the process to make those last 25 minutes effective. That's frustrating. Interface with low energy mode, just refers to stop you know very well something okay. And trying to be fancy now, you just keep it doing so it doesn't stop. Iceland sentence. Substitution basically, in my opinion, like I said, yeah, I'm doing right now. Shattering light, find a video elbow along. Hey, are you
think there is.
Calorie
Watch the
deficit
video.
for a long enough amount of time, eventually you'll lose the weight and you'll have a six-pack.
And see, this also leads into the fitness. Like, I know in fitness, a lot of fitness YouTubers, I don't know if this is true, but they've been saying as of recently that the body will only burn so many calories per day. Like, no matter how much effort you put in, there's a limit. Okay, I think they were saying like 1,000 calories per day is like, it doesn't matter how much exercise you do, you're only going to burn that many calories. And then after that point, you're literally just going to be causing physical health issues. Like, I'm not a fitness guy, so don't take my word on that. But like, I'd like to know the answer for that in languages.
Most semi-in shape people can probably get that done in about 6 months. And in my opinion, that's fast. So let me restate the original question I asked at the beginning of this video. Can you get fluent fast? Yes, but only if by fast you mean as fast as your brain can rewire.
Okay, so this is just clickbait in the sense of someone who wants to get fast and then he tells them no, they're not going to get fast. So at least he's honest here. But the word fast is just not appropriate. Like,
Yeah, it's not appropriate. I even can't speak anymore. I have to put so much effort. It's tremendous amount of effort just to speak. I just get out of this video. I don't think I can go with it anymore. I will end the live stream and speak right now. That just only just 45 minutes. Okay. But it's good. It's almost 2 hours. Right. So see you later. See you. Okay, guys.